class of science we were discussing the coal and petroleum, isn't it? And what was coal? Coal was the black dark substance which was used as a fuel, and there are many uses we have studied. Then we have studied about petroleum. What was petroleum? Petroleum is also obtained from fossil fuel, and it have different things are obtained from the petroleum. These are petrol, diesel, crude oil, kerosene. These all things we are obtained from the petroleum, isn't it? Then now we are going to study about natural gas. And what is this natural gas? Natural gas is a very important fossil fuel because it is easily to transport through pipes. It is very easy to transport it through the pipes because as we know that in our home the water is get through the pipelines, isn't it? And then sometimes it will be very problem that the pipe will be blockages are there, leakages are there. So this will be happen. And also one the other thing is that when the water is going through the pipelines, if it is of metal, then it will react to that and it will rust easily, isn't it? Then compared to the water, this natural gas have less problem to carry over through the pipes. Then because it is less weight, less denser, so it is very easy to handle through the pipe. The natural gas is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas, that is known as CNG. Then the cooking gas we have getting this also are the some varieties of this CNG, and some of the vehicles nowadays are using CNG, so that is compressed natural gas. It is less pollutant than compared to the petrol and diesel, so it is used in the vehicle also. Then how this is used? This is compressed. This natural gas is compressed with the high pressure. When the gas is, we know that when you are taking a balloon and you are applying the air into that balloon, you can see that the balloon will expand, isn't it? And then expand and some at the most pressure it will burst it off, isn't it? And then because it is of light strength balloon, isn't it? Then we are taking natural gas, and this natural gas is compressed with high pressure. With high pressure in such like situations, such like experimental type setups are there, at that place we are compressing that natural gas at a very high pressure, and this is stored as this compressed natural gas. Then it is now being used as a fuel to transport vehicles because it is less polluting. That I have told earlier that the vehicles are now using the CNG gas because it is less pollutant. Compared to the diesel, petrol, these are comparing, the CNGs are less polluting. It is a cleaner fuel. The most cleaner type of the fuel is this CNG. The great advantage of CNG is that it can be used directly for burning in homes, factories, where it can be supplied through pipes. When it can be supplied through pipes, and from the pipeline itself we can directly use that natural gas. Some of the places wherein Delhi, Bombay, such like places, they are having the one supply outlet is there, and the gas is gone through the pipelines, and it will never end. According to our consumption, our rate is calculated, and the entire period we will get this natural gas, and this is happening through the pipelines. And it is the peculiarity of natural gas that we can burn it from the outlet itself. The coming portion itself we can burn it. How we are using the cooking gas in our home? We are using from the cylinders, isn't it? Then the cylinder it is very convenient to use by ourselves, isn't it? Many of the mothers are using, many of the older peoples are using. It is not so complicated. It can be connected easily, it can be burned easily and maintained easily. Such a network of pipelines exists in Vadodara, Gujarat, some parts of Delhi and other places. In our Gujarat, it is having in Vadodara and some places of Delhi and in other places such like Bombay. These are places also having the pipeline CNG connections. Natural gas is also used as a starting material for the manufacture of number of chemicals and fertilizers. Many of the chemicals and fertilizers are manufactured from the CNG also. India has vast reserves of natural gas. India has vast reserves of natural gas. In our country, natural gas has been found in Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and in Krishna Godavari Delta. These are places the natural gas is in the underneath of the earth and we are using from the collection of the natural gas in the underneath of the earth. You have studied in the beginning of the chapter that some natural resources are exhaustible like fossil fuel, forest, minerals, etc. We have studied, isn't it? What are the exhaustible natural resources? Then fossil fuels are exhaustible. That means how these fossil fuels are prepared? The fossil fuels are obtained from the underneath of the earth. How they are obtained? They are obtained by process of natural process in millions of years, isn't it? Within millions of years only we are possible to obtain the natural gas or fossil fuels in the underneath of the earth. And then this gas only can, this resource can only used for hundreds of years. When we are using more and more, then this will be exhausted, will be end soon. So we will be careful in using these all things. So we should reduce our use. Whatever possibilities to reduce these use of this CNG, petrol, coal, then we can adopt that methods to reduce this use so that our next generations will also be able to use these all things, isn't it? You know that coal and petroleum are fossil fuels. You know that coal and petroleum are fossil fuels. It requires the death organism millions of years to get converted into the fuels. It gets millions of years to get converted to fossil fuels. On the other hand, the non-reserves of these will last almost a few hundred years, but it needs to prepare for the millions of years and it will remain only for hundreds of years to use with the human beings. Moreover, burning of these fuels is a major cause of air pollution and anyhow we are burning this, isn't it? It is very useful to us, but anyhow burning of this is very polluting and it will also cause, their use is also linked to global warming. It will also link to the global warming. Then what was the global warming? Remembering the global warming as the carbon dioxide, CO2, CO, these carbon monoxide, the CFC, all these type of gases are increasing in the Earth's atmosphere and it will collect the Earth to the sun's rays. It will collect and hold it for some more times and so it will not release back to this hot rays. So as the collecting of this hot rays increases, the temperature inside the earth also increases. This was global warming, isn't it? In earlier previous chapters, previous classes, you have studied the what? Global warming. It is therefore necessary that we use these fuels only when absolutely necessary. So we should only use these fuels when it is absolutely necessary. This will result in better environment, smaller risk of global warming and their availability for a longer period of time. In India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association PCRA advises people how to save petrol, diesel while driving. Petrol and diesel can be saved while driving. Then, if the government says, not only government says, we should have to save because it is very costly also, isn't it? So we should save this petrol, diesel, CNG, these all things we should save also. For that there are some tips. Drive at a constant and moderate speed as far as possible. You should drive the vehicle at the moderate and constant speed as far as possible. How much it is possible, you can use that method. Switch off the engine and traffic lights or at a place where you have to wait. Where you are going to wait, then you can switch off the vehicle so that the burning of petrol or diesel will be less. Ensure correct tire pressure. Students have seen that our parents will go to the petrol pump and to have the petrol, and sometimes we will go to check the air in the wheels, isn't it? That is the correct pressure, tire pressure. Okay. Ensure regular maintenance of the vehicles. Also, we should have to maintain the vehicles every recently we should maintain, so that we can less the usage of petrol and we can also reduce the happening of accidents also. Then these are for all the natural gas, and now we have completed the entire chapter of coal, petroleum and natural gas, and now we were going to discuss the exercise of this chapter. Till then, read the entire textbook, entire chapter and study whatever the things we have to do in the exercise. Then we can see when we are discussing the